And welcome to Allison and Marc Podcast, the Allison and Marc Podcast, which is on fire, by the way, these days.
We made it to the front room.
We made it to the front room.
We're moving on up.
We have a little technical difficulties that we'll be working out as we, get better at this. But, we left our, do you memorize it, babe?
Statement. No, but I can tell you what we are.
Yeah,
we are Allison and Marc, and this is the Married in Media podcast, where we have a full house, as you're about to see.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
You let the monkeys out?
We have our grandchild with us and our daughter with us today. And we're two media pros who have been married for 24 years.
What?
Coming up on 25 years. And we talk about everything here, from politics to pop culture, and a little bit of love and laughter sprinkled in.
And so again,
like this.
Thrown off a little bit because we're not in the studio downstairs, but I had a thing. So babe, normally we don't do this because we're such pros, but I'll tell you, because I'm sure you don't know what the deal. So our conversation today around FAFSA, for those who don't have kids in college, I guess you don't have to worry about it. But if you do, it's a big deal.
Yeah, some glitches with FAFSA rolling out this time around. But the kicker is, so we have two kids. One's in grad school, she's in medical school, and the other one is a sophomore at Clarke. We just dropped her off, and hopefully maybe we have a picture of that. And it turns out, babe, it's on the universities. The government said the government said they did what they were supposed to do. But I will tell you that
Carl DeKay is joining us.
Okay, our daughter Spencer down in Atlanta, she was sharing with us that one of her friends, she was like, "Hey, girl, where are you?" Couldn't come back because of financial aid reasons. So it's somewhere along the line, it's not getting to. It's not getting to these kids. So it's a real issue. And I was on the phone all day today with, and we'll say it because maybe somebody on here knows it, Howard University, trying to get our daughter's Grad Plus loan money together. So yeah, it's a real issue.
FAFSA is real. Please comment if you have
a real issue,
a challenge out there. If not, we'll move on. Carl with the K has joined us, ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Carl with the K, who has a standing gig, but still makes time to join us on our top-rated podcast, babe.
We have missed you, Carl with the K. I know you've been busy.
I missed you guys too. You guys been traveling all over the place, and I apologize. I apologize that my Howard is messing up on the FAFSA, but
yeah, it's an issue. If you know somebody, call for your niece.
I really wish I did.
Carl, are you surprised?
I'm not surprised, but I think most institutions have that administrative issues. A lot of times it's just that as you graduate and you move on, you kind of like put that stuff to the back of your mind and you just try to remember the good times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I remember my freshman year, we took over the A building.
Yeah.
And protest back in, this was 83.
Yeah.
So,
the lines are long. The lines are long, and the financial aid folks, they are on the phone. I couldn't even get through. I'm coming up tomorrow, though. I'm coming up tomorrow.
Are they going? The queen going up there, y'all.
Because if she doesn't have her money, that means she's in my pocket.
Oh, and your money is a terrible thing to waste.
Wow. The queen is coming up. Well, get in place, Howard. You don't want to mess with this one when she. Ooh, no. So Carl with the K, I know you have a tight schedule, so you want to get it popping, buddy.
Not a problem. Everything's going good. And since we are on an educational way, I figured I'd have some HBCU questions today.
All right. I love it.
This one surprised me, but it shouldn't be the answer. If you know HBCUs, you should know the answer. Mm-hmm. What HBCU had so many rattlesnakes on its campus that they became the school mascot?
Oh, I didn't know that's why.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yes.
I didn't realize that either.
Yes. That's what happened?
Yes. When they moved to a new property, there were so many rattlesnakes on there, and they became the Rattlers.
Wow.
And can I tell you, that's a perfect metaphor, if you will, for turning a real funky situation into a real funky situation.
Exactly.
I love it.
And the irony is Howard came by its name the same way.
Mm-hmm.
How's that?
There were like so many buffaloes.
That they named it the bison.
The bison.
No.
Y'all, he's
maybe
on
not.
his dad joke kick.
I was about to say, because I was
Dad
like,
joke.
that's a new one on me, Mark. I don't recall that one.
And on Howard.
All right. Next up, what HBU was the first to award bachelor's and graduate degrees in the South?
Ooh. So
The
that must have
first.
been a unit. So can I get a hint? Would that make it university, right?
At the time, I think it was a university at the time.
I'm gonna say
The first in the South.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Clarke.
Bachelor's and graduates.
Oh, that's a good answer. Clarke College, going into Clarke, Atlanta
I'm
University.
gonna say Clarke College. Well, you
Yeah.
do multiple choice. Sorry about that.
Well, you're right. It was originally Atlanta University, now Clarke University.
Woo.
Thank you.
And you
No, I
know,
did not
I know this now because of our daughter.
I did
Right.
not go to an HBCU, but
CCCAAAU.
I feel like I went to an HBCU.
That's our daughter at Clarke. Shout
That's
out to
right.
Clarke. Go Panthers. Red turf.
hey, why do you think I got why do you think I came up with the question? I knew who you guys were.
Oh, I love you, Carl, with the K.
That's why he's good, man.
Yeah.
Last but not least, shout out to the ladies. Spelman and what other school are the only all-women HBCUs?
Bennett.
Bennett in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know your
Man,
HBCUs.
why would we talk about Bennett this weekend?
We saw the sun. We passed Bennett. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We passed
Yeah.
Bennett.
So because of that, we in it.
Now this is one I'm going to leave you one to ponder on. I'm not going to
Okay.
I couldn't put it in a question form in time. I just found this out. But there is an HBCU that today is predominantly white.
Oh, it might be my father's alma mater, University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff.
No, it's not. Well, not that one. This one's in West Virginia.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we know this one.
Yeah.
Skylar, what's the HBCU in West Virginia that's mostly white now? Bluefield.
Bluefield.
Yeah.
You got an assist from
Got an
Skylar.
assist from our college student here
Okay.
at home.
You had to call a friend. I got
I
you.
did. I had to phone a friend.
So, Carl, where are you heading off to?
Shout out to you, Irving, though, and CL for getting all these
Yep.
HBCU trivia together. Bluefield
Excellent.
State.
And where you heading,
Tonight I'm in Arundel Mills at TGI Fridays. And I switched up with the Owings Mills. I do them on Tuesday nights now. We do those on Tuesday nights because football season's coming and I don't want to be interfering with Thursday night football getting yelled at.
That's smart.
Carl, let me ask you a question before you go.
Yes, ma'am.
For all the people kind of in, just in life, trying to navigate life, how does it feel to love what you do?
Whew. It keeps me going.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I just I don't feel like researching 25 more questions today. And then I'm like, but they love when I do it, and I love doing it when I do it. It's kind of like I love when you do it, but here's the best way to describe it, as you as a mother can understand. All I want is the baby. I hate the labor.
Yes, I got you. Well, what you're doing is super impactful. It's fun and it's informative. And I think it makes us all feel really proud of our heritage and our culture.
Carl, we appreciate you, my friend.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me, and welcome back.
All right. Take care and be safe. Carl with a K, ladies and gentlemen. And he's an amazing guy. For those who don't know, I mean, Carl lost his wife years ago, and he's just an amazing guy. We worked together at Radio 1, and he's just always been this splendid person. Shaletta, what's going on, Shaletta? She's joining us. Also, like we said, Irving Russell, C.L. Redden's in the house.
These questions right.
Shamira Brown, may God bless you and the kids. And so I had such an exciting moment just now, babe. Shout out to Mary Woods.
Okay.
When I transferred to SIU Carbondale, me and Mary, she was an RA, and we became, super, super close friends. It's almost like because I was older, coming in as a junior, and everybody else were the freshmen. Mm-hmm. Mary and I, we were super, super close. I'm talking about, and it's so funny because I'm talking about, I went to her, so she had a long distance, a fiance. Girl, I went to the wedding. We really, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so she just found me on LinkedIn today. Awesome. And so shout out to Mary, who was just a great friend. at a very interesting time. You know how you transfer to a school, you don't know anybody, whatever, and we became really close. So shout out to Mary. No, you're not watching them, but cool. So Janet said it was very informative. Love you guys. Deborah, love you too. The niece is in the house.
Speaking of school, just as you show this, I know our thing isn't. That's
Okay, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah. So we actually
that's us this weekend.
We dropped off. Go ahead, baby. You do the lead in, and I have the video.
Oh, okay. So so the baby. Hi, John. We call her baby. So people who know us
Down from D-Town, Detroit.
They just call her baby too. So we'll just say baby. Her name is Spencer, but she's second year at down in Atlanta at Clarke Atlanta University. And we went down Thursday. We drove. It's probably 10 hours, breaking the trip up, just enjoying her and then enjoying each other's company on the way back. And that's where we were. So we were there Friday and came back Sunday, and she's in her dorm, and we just had a ball.
You can see I'm in the heart of Panther Nation as we are moving in our sophomore into Clarke Atlanta University. I'll tell you all about the campus. And as the saying goes, there is no AUC without CAU. Come on, Panthers.
I'm building me a home. I'm building me a home. Building me a home. I'm building me a home. Building me a home. I'm building me a home. Building me a home. I'm building me a home. This earthly house. It's gonna soon decay. And my soul gotta have.
So, babe, it seems like only yesterday when you two were moving into your HBCU. So, move-in day, talk to us about what is move-in day on an HBCU campus as you reflect on your move-in days.
It's just cool. You get to see, it's exciting because now you're meeting your hallmates, and I had the same roommate all 4 years. Shout out to my best friend, Kristen. Love you, girl. But so that was easy. But just moving all your stuff in, trying to make it work. At Hampton, though, there wasn't any running to the store. So you had all your stuff in the car. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. So it's always an exciting time, especially at an HBCU. Second year for the baby down at Clarke, Atlanta. How you feeling?
I'm excited. It's always hard to leave mom and dad, but I'm very excited for another great year.
This is the baby, y'all, the baby. We're so proud of you. This is your room, right? This is your first on-campus experience. So typical dorm room, really nice. Can't wait to meet your roommate.
Me too.
Yeah. So this is it. So she was going for minimalist boho chic.
And that's it. That's our baby right there.
Yep.
So excited about all that. And babe, we got, like you said, the drive down really was enjoyable.
Yeah.
And, Shaletta says, love it that all your girls attend HBCUs for undergrad, nothing like that experience. Mm-hmm. And let me just say, Allison was exactly on top of that as far as Allison, I won't say demanded, but it was very important for for them to have the HBCU experience. I wanted to have it, as I've always mentioned, but I'm from Springfield, couldn't afford it. But my daughter's going there has been very exciting, right? And
it was important for me, and just for me and for my girls, I felt, because in their experience K through 12, they had never been in a position of the majority. And, it's important because I feel like sometimes that can really make you feel a little small and like you're sort of invisible at times. And so I wanted them to have 4 years of really just being ensconced in their culture. I wanted them to see buildings with the names of African American scholars and leaders on them, because wherever you go to school, if you happen to go to a large, what we call now PWI, predominantly white institution, you don't see it. It's just because of the way it's set up. You don't see buildings typically named after Black men or women, or statues on campus and all of that. And so to have that totally immersive experience, and then to get back out into the world stronger and more secure in your history, I thought it was just very important for our girls. It was our choice. So, I'm not saying that's whatever, but I am saying I thought it was I thought it would be a good experience for our girls.
And let me say, being married, coming up on 25 years, these are the conversations that you don't necessarily have when you're dating, or, when you're getting to know somebody. That's why we don't really give out a whole bunch of advice, because a lot of the stuff comes up and just happens. We share the same philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so important, because I can imagine the struggle that people get in when you don't share the same philosophy. Never really talked about it. Now you're married. Now you got kids. Now you're beefing. And it's like you didn't see it coming, because it never comes up. It's never come. You don't really have that conversation when you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
So, babe, this little moment here, speaking of driving down, this moment came up, babe. We actually saw a double rainbows,
Mm-hmm.
and I was sleeping and babe was driving.
Mm-hmm.
And so you were like, wake up, babe, look. And ironically, it was Dad's birthday.
It was the day that he made his transition.
Oh, so they made his transition.
It was another birthday.
Okay.
The day he made his transition. And it was sort of on my mind. And so when I saw it, I just felt like it was my father saying, hey, baby, love you, miss you.
Well,
yeah.
And I thought it was too, babe. So I put something together. So got a little nod to Dad.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, just a quick.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me.
I hope you could see it. Sometimes it's hard to capture them, but it was a beautiful double rainbow, and just a great memory of my dad. So,
all right. So Bootsy says, keep me in your prayers.
Let me see what Bootsy talking
Taking
about.
my daughter back to Hampton. Yes, it's okay. You're gonna cry. Let them out. Let them out, Bootsy. Don't be scared. Let them out.
Oh, Bootsy gonna cry now. He ain't scared of that.
Yeah. He
Bootsy
said
gonna cry.
his eyes are sweating.
Bootsy is going to cry. Yeah.
And that story is amazing. So moving right along on the show.
Got to talk about the DNC that's going on right now.
Yeah.
And just it's so interesting. I saw a side by side of the different even signs that people in the audience are given, I guess, to hold up, and like one of them at the RNC said mass deportations now, and then the other one at that's the RNC, that the DNC had just said USA. One of them said it's just a difference in tone that I find really, really interesting, which leads me to another point. I was listening to having a conversation with one of my coworkers today, and she brought up the fact that on WTOP here in DC, just a really trusted voice, in local news, right, radio, the anchor was doing an interview with somebody. They were talking about the speeches, and he said about Michelle Obama's speech, and if you guys watched, he asked the guy, he said, it was a little harsh, don't you think? And so here's the deal, and I've said it a million times. Marc always big boys me on the space. I've said it a million times. We're not talking politics because as a journalist, I can't do that, right? You can read between the lines on how I feel about a lot of things, but I just got to keep it right here. But what I will say is about this, it's not about Democrats or Republicans, but what it is about is this perception that I am so tired of.
Yes.
If Michelle Obama stands up there with her braids and her bad self and says, I'm just going to make a sentence up. If she says, we are tired of the lies, we're not going to stand for it, we're going to elect somebody who is for the people. And if your perception as a person who is not familiar with, doesn't know any, already believes that Black women are angry, that's going to be where you come from. And so when that statement was shared with me, it just made me so mad. It did make me angry because she is giving a passionate speech at a national, a political party, a convention.
That's what we're here for.
That's why we're here.
And not
And
tearing
it was
anybody
not
down.
right.
Not
She did deliver
attacks.
some zingers. I hope you
Yeah.
have that one so we can show it. But you don't have it? Okay. I hope, well, we'll talk about it. But for him to say it was harsh, don't you think? That, and I'm telling you, I've been myself in these situations. It is like you cannot be passionate about something, be a Black woman, deliver it unapologetically without somebody saying, oh, it was harsh. Oh my gosh, it was harsh. And for the people in the chat, like, weigh in with me, because have you been in these situations? You're standing up for yourself at your job. I have done that. I have done that at my past job, been accused of the same thing, right? Have you been in a situation where you've said something when you're not smiling, when you're not apologetic, when you're standing up for yourself or your beliefs, and you've been dismissed as being, oh yeah, just angry, just calm down, you're angry. And I think it is especially, it's exhausting. And I was very disappointed with that coverage, that leading question. It was harsh. Wasn't she harsh? And
I wonder what the response was.
I looked online. There was no backlash for it. There was nothing about it.
Did the host say anything? Like, did he answer the question?
And the kicker is, that's what I said. Did the person who was being interviewed say, well, it wasn't really harsh, it was just she was making these points? I think that the interviewee just let it go. But and I thought about the sheer hate that the Obamas received when they were in office, and how freeing it must have been when they left after those 8 years. But here we go again. Harsh, isn't it? And I consider that news source to be a very unbiased one. And still, here we go. Here we go. When, you can have all the vitriol of the elected lawmakers who are just spewing nonsense.
It's really craziness.
And
nobody says anything.
Right. So that's my problem. I got a problem with that. So do you have that mic drop moment though from Michelle Obama at the thing?
No, yeah.
So basically, I mean, she's just an excellent speaker in my opinion. And she basically, former President Trump, of course, something he said made news everywhere because he basically was trying to do that little, fear thing when he said, I guess he was speaking to Black Americans when he said that illegal immigrants, basically, correct me if I'm wrong, were taking the Black job. They're taking the Black jobs. And so basically Michelle Obama said, do you have it?
No, I don't have it
okay.
ready.
Basically, Michelle Obama says, who's going to tell him she's about to take one of those Black jobs?
Right.
Who's going to tell him she's about to take one of those Black jobs? So, I don't know. Are you not, can she in her position not be witty, make jokes, whatever. I don't know. I don't think that's the part that he was talking about, this anchor that I'm not mentioning on the radio. But yeah, so it was excellent. It was excellent. If you're a good speaker, you're a good speaker, period. And she's a good speaker. So is former President Obama. But I'm not being biased.
That's right.
I wish that you had it, Mark. It was so good. I know you were busy today.
No. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking about the article, but I didn't get the clip.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get the clip. So maybe I'll have the clip before the end of the show.
Okay.
Now, something else, a clip I did get. So we have a couple stories here around marriage.
Hold on.
Okay.
Vamp.
A couple stories around marriage here. So, kind of not controversial, but I mean, some to me ridiculous is one, and the other curious. We're going to want you to chime in on, the ideology of this couple and what they made their guests do. So the first one in the marriage box, babe, this one was ridiculous to me, but I'm curious to hear what the viewers have to say, and of course, what you have to say.
When you got to be like, am I willing to die for this?
I'm not. I'm not willing to die
I think dying for your wife and your family, I can understand.
Because it's dangerous. It's not fearful. It's a dangerous
Kids,
situation.
yeah.
Wife too.
Wife, no.
Look, you bought her though.
I'm not.
I mean, like once you.
I'm not dying for my wife, my nigga.
What are you doing in a dangerous situation?
If me and my wife are running because two niggas shooting at us and she trip, I'm gonna keep running.
You and your wife.
Me and my wife.
Who hurt you?
Is this response just ridiculous?
I'm going to be honest. If you said that, we couldn't be together.
No, definitely.
Because guess what? I would never leave you.
I know. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that, Allison. Don't do that right now. I just thought it was so ridiculous, and
that's weird.
As ridiculous as it sounds, I will say I feel like there's a whole wave of weird energy with men talking about women.
Well, at least the other host was like, "Who hurt you?" in a funny way, trying to get out of it. I'm sure. But
yeah, but then he said you bought her.
Yeah, what
does that even mean?
And I also saw this. I'm learning more about my fellow Americans during times like this. You really learn about your fellow Americans.
Oh yeah.
And I saw a couple of posts that said, "What kind of man would follow a woman president? Would elect a woman president and follow a woman president?"
Oh, I saw someone post that and responded to that.
And it's very interesting to me when you think about globally how many women lead governments, and what are you saying as a woman? Because I saw two women ask that question. So what are you saying as a woman? Are you saying that women are not as smart as men? Are you saying that women are so emotional that they are not able to lead with their minds? Are you saying they're not smart enough? To me, it's really, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about my fellow Americans and my fellow women.
That narrative is weird.
What kind of man would follow a woman president? Huh? Okay.
It's weird. Cousin says Trump always says women ask him nasty questions, especially women of color.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you'd be nasty towards women.
Yeah. He also called I think it was Amy Klobuchar or somebody, because you're seeing a lot of Republicans at the DNC speaking, whatever. He said that was the nastiest speech. So I think it says anybody who doesn't fall in line and get one of those T-shirts that say dictator from day one. I think it's anybody. Yeah. I'm learning a lot about my fellow Americans. I love you. I'm learning a lot.
My fellow Americans, right. And so now the story, babe, you sent me also involving marriage. You want to talk about that?
Well, just the question is, this is the specifics, but another couple has charged to come to the wedding. And I think it was in New York. It was like a whole day experience or something, but they charged their guest like $330 to come to if they wanted to be a part of the wedding as a guest. And they said, "Oh yeah, we saved about $40,000 doing it that way." So weigh in. I mean, is it ever okay to charge to go to your wedding and or reception?
I'm
What do
going to
you
say,
think?
I think this might be to me, this seems like a generational issue
Okay.
in that I think, and I don't want to speak for all the Generation Xers,
I guess people did. We're X, yeah.
but I feel like we are the last in right after the boomers,
Mhm.
where if you want to have an amazing wedding, go ahead. But I'm not going to pay for your amazing wedding.
Right.
If you want to have y'all can get married at the courthouse for $2.
Yeah.
So that me paying for your wedding because you want to have one, there's a disconnect there for our generation, I think.
Right.
Because and people will say, no, but we wanted to have a nice wedding. We wanted to, just like when people invite you to their weddings out of the country or whatever. Dude, $4,500? I love you.
Yeah.
I want to support you. But are you thinking about me or are you just thinking about what you think is so cool?
Yeah.
So it's almost like, but I think that's our generation. I think the new generations, they're okay with it.
I think that if we were invited to a wedding, unless it was somebody like really close and we wanted to go because we just wanted to support and we're like, okay. But yeah, I would not advise my daughters to do that. I would just say have a smaller wedding.
So let me ask you this: if you know, we have
people thinking it's a little tic-tac.
we have some strong-willed daughters now.
Yeah.
If they're like, look, mom, I'm charging $500, you chimed in, you gave your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point do you just say, okay, fine, we pay our $1,000 and go to the wedding? I mean, what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you keep on, what have you learned?
What I've learned is that these kids are grown. If they ask my advice on something, I would say to them, I would prefer, I would not suggest that you do that. But yeah, I mean, these kids go out, we've seen it. Like you go out to a birthday party and you just know you're going to like pay for your own meal and stuff like that. So maybe it's a different mentality.
We had a conversation with one of our daughters about that.
We did, but I think that I would advise them not to. Now, yeah.
And I think it's interesting not having the older people around, because I think grandmas and grandpas, especially grandmas, can get away with calling something tacky if you're going to do it.
Right.
And give you that kind of feeling of, if your mom says it, it's one thing. She don't know what she's talking about. Or your dad says it, oh, dad. But if your grandparents say it, especially your grandma, I think it's like, is it tacky?
Yeah, they would say, don't, look, grandparents wouldn't have a problem being like, oh, no, baby, you don't do that. We don't do that now, baby.
Yeah.
We can have something right here at the house.
Right. Or you
before
can see,
we tell people to pay for their own plate.
You can see the grandfather, a grandfather saying, well, how much is it?
Yeah. No.
Well, how much? I'll pay for it. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's embarrassing. Don't do that.
They weren't going to do it. They weren't going to do it.
And so yesterday, for those who don't know, I'm a radio guy, right? Television, radio, but radio is my first love, as far as career goes. And so yesterday was National Radio Day.
Yes.
So I put together,
how did I miss it?
So I put together a little thing, put a little something for the radio people out here, just kind of a rundown of where I've been and some of the things I had a chance to do. Just a little quick thing before we wrap things up, okay?
Last night a DJ saved my life. Last night a DJ saved my life, yeah. 'Cause I was sitting there bored to death, and in just one breath he said, you gotta get up, you gotta get off, you gotta get down, girl. You know you drive me crazy, baby. You've got me turning to another man. Called you on the phone, no one's home. Baby, why leave me all alone? And if it wasn't for the music, I don't know what I'd do. Yeah.
So happy Radio Day to all my radio brothers out there, radio brothers and sisters out there. And it's crazy. I see those shots when I worked in New York. I think I look younger now than I did back then. That weight loss thing is crazy. Mm-hmm. And I know some are saying, why do you have on suspenders?
Why?
Why do you look like Reverend Clarke? Well, my brothers and sisters, I felt like I needed to have something on today.
Okay.
So, baby, anything to wrap up?
Yeah, I'll just say that it's chillier here in our area. Spencer down in Atlanta said there's chili there too. Starbucks is out with their pumpkin spice lattes. Already? Yeah, I'm reading. Yeah, brings them back early and introduces a new drink, and yeah, so that's happening. It feels like fall out there for sure.
Wow.
For sure.
Alicia is in the building. Beverly's in the building. Sandra's in the building. Okay, well, babe.
Okay. Yeah, I wish we had more tape we could have shown. Like they had the whole roll call. Lil Jon was at the
that was
DNC
great.
and all that. But as you can see, we're not in our regular digs.
Yeah, we're not in our regular digs, but we'll do a review. We'll do a review next Wednesday of that and capture those great moments, including what we mentioned today with former First Lady Michelle Obama. We'll be in our old digs and we'll have the best moments. And the energy around this is so much different. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I wonder, you know how you watch it and you just like, I wonder what people think because.
Well, Amber Rose chimed in and she said that, yeah, it looks lit. I can't deny. But then, she, I guess, used that to parlay into, I guess there are no problems in the world. So everybody's laughing and giggling. You just, what I'm learning to do is take things, not less personally because it's not personal, but I'm learning that everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
And, I think the opinions are really important though. I think that people who have a large audience, you got to really think about what you're saying. And if you stand on it, you stand on it. But if you're saying it for a check or some clout, you got to really, who is it going to hurt in the long run? That's my question.
Also, I realize there's a lot of stupid people out here. That's what
I know, but it's
I think Americans stupid. I think that's the thing I'm really starting to focus on is that
you're learning about your fellow Americans.
Yeah. I mean, I really do. Like we're easily influenced. We're marketing driven and we don't like to, even though it calls the age of information, we really don't like to do research. We really don't like to look much into things. But yeah, that's my conclusion. People are stupid. And if you jump out a window, somebody's going to jump.
Somebody's going to jump with you.
You know how your parents see that was the other thing back to our generation. When your parents just use that analogy all the time. Mm-hmm. Well, if Bobby jumps out the window, you going to jump out the window?
Yeah.
Nowadays, it'd be like, yes, because he has 25 million likes.
Yeah. So I'm going to do it. It was something else. Speaking of likes, another big thing that's happening, and I hate to be so DMV centric because I know we're worldwide. Keith Lee, Keith Lee from TikTok. Yes. He's in the DMV. So he was at a restaurant in Northern Virginia, and he gave his review on that. People had asked, they were hoping that he would go to, there's an Ethiopian restaurant that we've actually been to on U Street. Dukum,
yeah. We've been there forever.
The daughter of the founders is making this plea because the father passed away and the restaurant is struggling. So she had reached out and asked, just asking people to come because it's her family business and they're really in trouble right now.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that he comes into the district and he goes there because the food is so good.
Well, and that's the other part. You just become famous because of that. Like, right. And I have a whole friend who has a whole bit about it, but so this person says it tastes good, but is this person trained? Who is this person? How do we know we share the same palate? He ain't even fat. I don't know. As a fat person, I don't trust no skinny person's palate. I'm sorry.
Who said that? You saying that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I don't trust no skinny person.
At Marc Clarke.
Fat people know what I'm talking about. I ain't trusting no skinny person. A skinny person can't tell you. All you got to do is go to fast food on the road. Cookout, Wendy. All you got to do, you know what I'm saying? I'm separating myself from as a fat person, I can tell who's in charge of menus by what they put together. It's deadly, but delicious.
Well, so the food that he tried was very clean. It was and he talked about that. My thing though is I will say this. Here's what I will say. I will disagree with you on that, but what I will say is as far as the regional stuff goes. So we met in St. Louis, and in St. Louis they have this whole Emo's Pizza.
Yes, Emo's Pizza, prime example.
So yeah, if you're not
St. Louis style Emo's Pizza,
and if you're not used to the style of it, the
taste of the cheese,
and all that, you might say, ew. what the hell is this, is what you might say. But it's loved. You might also say the same thing for
tripe
the
sandwich.
fish. Yes, at little carryouts.
At Mother's.
Right. You might say,
Buffalo.
was this fish raised at the bottom of the
Yes.
Mississippi River?
If you've had catfish,
Yeah.
imagine if a catfish is the what do you call it, the carburetor of the ocean.
Yes.
Buffalo fish is a double
Right.
carburetor.
So you might
So
say
that fish, the fish, you're just not used to it.
you're just not used to it.
Tripe sandwich in
Mhm.
St. Louis.
So I do agree with that.
And also, last but not least, is the St. Paul. The St. Paul sandwich is a fried egg sandwich. What am I missing here? It's fried eggs, mayonnaise,
not mayonnaise.
salt and
Not
pepper,
mayonnaise.
mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Just like, same thing with DC. You have DC favorites. You got, of course, the smoke, the half smoke at Ben's Chili Bowl.
Right.
Some people, I could hear Keith Lee saying, "Oh, it was okay, but it didn't da 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 da."
Yeah.
Because when you bite into it and you're from here, it means something to you. It means something to you. And
Right.
as a kid, I think kids are the best because they just go. Their opinion is honest.
Mhm. I don't like it.
They've been nasty.
Mhm.
This nasty. Because I remember the first time I had White Castles.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a White Castle?
Mm-mm.
You never had hamburger, right?
I have not had
Yeah.
White
I don't know if White Castle is hamburger.
It's a burger of some
I just remember, wow, I ate 3 hamburgers, mommy. That
Yeah.
place where you can get 3 hamburgers. So the packaging was amazing, right? And
Faison said buffalo fish.
yes, buffalo fish. Yes, glizzy. That's right.
Same
Fahim-
thing. Same thing.
Fahim says, "Yeah, give me that glizzy." Like, if is that it's going to be different.
Same thing for here. Like if you come here and you go to the carry out, if that's, if you want to go into the neighborhoods and you're like, oh, this is whatever, this mambo sauce is too, like, it's
Too
a little
sweet.
bit too sweet. Right.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. So
Salt, pepper,
it is
ketchup.
very interesting. But then you can say the whole thing about food critics, period. So what I think that Keith Lee has done and other influencers is
We're not dogging on Keith Lee. We're just saying what happens that makes you famous. Well, Amber Rose, Amber whatever, same way. She got famous being Kanye's girlfriend that he met at a strip club. I mean, what was that was it.
But I think what Keith Lee does is he's the palette he's going around the country and he's saying this is just on straight taste. But he also doesn't like eat. He said maybe there was like some shellfish and something, so he doesn't necessarily eat that. So it is interesting. I do like how, because food critic before was super. I remember I interviewed a food critic. They came in, they were in the shadow.
Oh yeah,
you couldn't see them.
They were trained from
And
France. They're always from France.
And so it's nice that there is somebody just like, I'm gonna do it too. And so I do like that part. But I hear you. Regional stuff, don't mess with it.
You go to Baltimore, you want you get your chicken box. Oh, okay, get a chicken box with fries.
Mm-hmm.
You want salt, pepper, ketchup, Open up the box. It's covered with ketchup. Everything's covered with ketchup. It's not like it's covered with ketchup.
Right.
Salt, pepper, ketchup. That's what you said. You'd be like, I don't like this.
Too drenched in the ketchup. So whatever. So welcome to the DMV, Keith Lee. So far, it's good. Like, he did leave. This business was struggling too because they're getting ripped off by like the Grubhub type places. So he dropped $2,000 or something there. So he is doing good with it. Like, he might say the food is 7 out of 10, but he's going to leave that check too. So, okay. Welcome to the DMV.
Well, family, thank you so much as always.
We were supposed to have
you.
an Ask Allison today. I guess we didn't have that today.
Oh, do not point out what we don't have, Allison. Oh my goodness. All right, y'all. See y'all.